The markets were almost 700 points down earlier this afternoon. We're approaching the close. The Dow is down 575. Joining us now on the WBEN Live line, the financial guys. And I believe we have Mike Lomas on the line. Mike, good afternoon.
Hey, Tom, how are you?
I'm doing well. Mike, another steep drop today for the markets. Obviously, a lot of concern regarding China and the U.S. and a possible trade war.
Yeah, and, I'm really confused, and I sound like a broken record, but I said, I've supported Trump on immigration, supported him on his tax reform, but I really cannot figure out what he's trying to accomplish here. He came out earlier today and said, we're not in a trade war. Well, that's not true. We are in a trade war. You've added on fees, and China comes back and adds on fees for, stuff we're going to sell over there. That's a trade war, so somebody should let him know what a trade war is. But he also said in the same spirit that the goal is to lower trade barriers, which I'm all on board with. Punishing other countries for not doing business here, or for doing business here, I should say, isn't going to help us. It's just going to be higher prices that'll hit the middle class the hardest, and it won't help anybody. But lowering barriers over there, allowing us to sell more stuff is all well and good. I just don't understand how he's trying to negotiate this. I know he's got the art of the deal, and I know he's got a track record of negotiating, but to me, I would be calling China and saying, let's have some side conversations before we get into this back and forth stuff. I mean, clearly the stock market is telling him, hey, look at what you're doing we don't like. And, Donald Trump, he's obviously watches the stock market because he bragged about it all last year saying, hey, look how good the stock market is. It's all me. So, one of the things I've been holding out hope for is lead economic advisor Larry Kudlow is a pro-growth, pro-trade guy. And I got to believe Larry's in his ear saying, come on, let's talk hard, but at some point we're going to take a step back and sit down with China and figure this mess out.
Mike, as far as what investors are thinking right now, if there is a side conversation between President Trump and Chinese leaders, could this mean a little less volatility?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, either two things are going to eventually happen. Either this stuff will just sit where it is and we'll focus on other priorities. And, the market is going to react to certainty and uncertainty. And even if we don't like it, even if somebody like me says, look, I don't like the additional fees that China's imposing, I don't like the additional fees we're imposing, but at least we know the game plan. It's certain. The market will move forward, and there's always going to be opportunities out there to buy. There's companies that are down that are not at all going to be affected by what happens with this trade deal. And those are great buying opportunities right now. So, and then the other part of it is that they do sit down and negotiate out a better deal for both sides. And if they can do that, I think that's going to give another path of certainty, which will allow the markets to be able to rally. I mean, there is a ton of support right now in where the Dow is technically. And technically is these institutional money managers that say, look, the Dow reaches a certain point, I'm going to sell. The Dow reaches a certain point on the lower end, I'm going to buy, and there's a lot of activity happening right about where we are now. So, let's just hope that, we can get back to a clearer path of pro-trade growth. And, Trump's hard talk about, trade policies, it all works during the political campaign. It's not working right now, and the stock market's telling him, Donald, stop.
How soon do you think the president will begin either side talks or negotiations with China?
I would bet sooner rather than later, because the stock market is making a very, 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 it's a very clear message that, look, this is not working. And people can say, hey, look, the stock market doesn't lead our economy and there's other things. That's simply not true. I mean, the biggest asset people have right now is their home and their 401k plan. And they feel way more confident spending money when their 401k plan is doing better than worse. So I would think you'll see the Trump administration start to have talks with China relatively quickly here and start to move this path out. And if that's the case, then ultimately what this is a buying opportunity, and you rebalance your portfolio and try to take advantage of it, which is what we're going to be doing.
All right, Mike, thank you very much. Mike Lomas of the Financial Guys on the WBEN Live Line. Sure. Checking the WBEN 30-minute ticker at the close. The Dow down 572.5 at 23,933. NASDAQ down 161 at 69.15. The S&P down 58 at 2604, 69.15.